Howdy, howdy. I'm Dustin. This is Brent. Before we get into it, don't forget, get into our football games just around the corner, but also just around the corner, fantasy baseball playoffs. Let's get into that waiver wire.
All right, I'm going to be talking about the hitters this week, and we're going to start with Ryan Ludwig, owned in 70% of leagues. Now, he got traded to the San Diego Padres, but he still has great value. We were shocked to see that he was under 75% of leagues. A good source of power, decent average. Next, we have the rookie Mike Stanton for the Florida Marlins, owned in 50% of leagues. If you're in a home run only league, you're going to love this stat. 9 home runs in his last 95 at-bats. That's good in any league, to be honest, so you might want to think about adding him. Then we got two guys that just is killing Dustin. Please do something about this, because every pre-show he gets a little angry about it.
We're going to put them on this list every week until they're both owned in more than 75% of leagues, so pick them up.
All right, the first guy, I just don't want to hear that again, is Miguel Montero, the catcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks, owned in only 70% of leagues. Now, we think this guy's a top 5 catcher. We loved him going into the year, and he's been playing great all season. He's batting over 300. He's going to get you some power numbers. He should definitely be more owned than only 70%. And last hitter we're going to talk about is the thorn in my side, Gordon Beckham. I know I dropped this guy. You've heard it's killing me.
Yeah, he did.
He was playing terrible, but then he's obviously been extremely hot. He's been on the Wire show for a couple weeks now. And in his last 30 days this time, he's batting 25 for 82. Great average, obviously. He's got a couple jacks, some RBIs. Second and third base eligibility. I mean, this guy should be universally
He
out.
can play second or third. Those are tough positions to fill. Maybe you should pick this guy up.
Please.
All right. Moving to the pitchers, we start with the news out there with the Mets. K-Rod done for the year. Takahashi's going to take over, it looks like. We doubt he's going to have the best ERA, but he should be a decent source for saves for you. Only owning about 15 or 20% of leagues right now. Next, got another closer in Chris Perez. Only owning 60% of leagues. We don't see what the problem is. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, honestly. Good ERA, good K counts. Pick him up if you need some saves. Moving on to the starters, we got Kevin Slowey out there with the Twins. Only on 65% of leagues. We all heard what happened earlier with his no-hitter getting broken up.
As a Twins fan, what do you think about him getting pulled during a no-hitter?
You're in a playoff race. You make the smart decision for keeping your guys healthy. No problems with it.
Spoken like a Twins fan.
But this guy has been playing great in his last 5 starts. He's 3-0 during that time. ERA right around 2, almost a K per inning, and get this, only 6 walks during that span. That's amazing. Could be a good guy to have down the stretch. And the last guy we're going to talk about, we talked about him last week, Jeremy Hellickson. He had another start since last week, and he got another win. He's 3-0 so far. ERA just over 1. This guy looks like he's the real deal. Pick him up if he's available, only owned in 45% of leagues.
All right, Dustin, let's get into those forms. The first one comes from Serrano50. He's got a roster spot available, and he already owns Kinsler and Kelly Johnson, so he wants to know who he should pick up with that roster spot. And some of the guys he's looking at, I hate to say the first one, is Gordon Beckham. Then we also got Neil Walker and Ian Stewart.
Well, when I first read this, not going to lie, got a little angry. Don't get why people aren't picking up Beckham. But when you look at it, Neil Walker, he's got an upside. So does Ian Stewart. So it is kind of a tricky decision. But I say go with Beckham. It's an easy choice for me. You know, Kinsler's going to be out until about early September, so you can use the extra help at second until he comes back. And then when he does come back, you got him at third if you need help there. Easy decision for me. Pick up Beckham. You won't be disappointed. All right, Brent, pick him up. We got one from Wheelies. He wants to know, will Carlos Gonzalez be a top 10 pick next year?
Simple answer is yes. He's been playing great this year. We see no reason why he won't continue this for next year. But when Dustin answers in the form, I really love the analogy they put in there. Carlos Gonzalez is probably going to go right around where Matt Kemp went this year, towards the end of the first round. But with that being said, he will be a first-round guy. He was a huge sleep for us coming to the season. He's obviously proved us right. You know, this guy somewhat knows what he's talking about, I guess.
I love that guy. He's been carrying my team.
Loves him.
Love him.
Just like Gordon Beckham.
Yeah, he let me down the first half, but
He
he's
did.
not letting me down the second half. That's it for this week's show. As always, get into our forums, get into our football games. Follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Advice. Check us out on iTunes. Tons of stuff going on. I'm Dustin. This is Brent. We'll see you next week.